Hello, everyone. Just kind of getting situated here. Where's Froggy? There you are. See, honey, I only have like that person. So we got to work on a camera, Abby. I so need that. All right, can everybody hear me? Yes, 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 no, yes, yes, no, yes, yes. Yep, yep, yep. Who says I do? Isis, are you marrying me? Isis Ophelia, will you take my hand in marriage? Just saying. Oh, Froggy says, uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Oh.
Can you hear me? Okay. I was just wondering maybe if it was Froggy or maybe Sugar's voice is out, but okay.
We'll be starting in just 1 second. We'll kind of let people relog here. That man is Damien. Yes, that is. He does, doesn't he? I had a sex change. That's all right, Wizard. We've had meetings where Damien can't get on normal, so he just talks under Sugar. It's quite interesting. Oh, see, you've been there. You hand out fans here. He does. He has a super sexy voice. Thank you. Welcome back, Sierra. All right, let me see. Excuse me. Froggy's at home. She should be coming. Mr. Sub-Zero. Slap our butts. All right, I see Corey, but I don't see Harley. Okay, let me see if she's on. Yes, she is. She's at home. Okay. Still no voice, Froggy. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, that's not good. Alright, we should probably get started. I know Froggy's trying to get her voice going. Hopefully she'll get it. Okay, welcome everyone to this month's town meeting. We're going to get this started. I am Sugar Palino, co-owner and co-founder of Island Oasis. I will introduce my staff. I take care of everything that happens in world. That is my job. The other co-owner and co-founder of Island Oasis is Damian Palino. He is my... Yes, that's you. He is my in-world and real-life husband. He takes care of all of the servers, the coding, the technical kind of things. He is also in charge of the region support team. I am also in charge of the mentor team. Moving on, Miss Allison Palino. Miss Allie is in charge of our marketing team. She is also on the executive staff, and she is also my assistant. So what I know, she knows. Next one is Sub-Zero Palino. Sub-Zero Palino is in charge of our scripting team. He is also on our executive staff, and he is Damien's assistant. He does a lot of things also with working closely with Damien with servers and coding and physics engines and things like that. Last but not least is SMA Palino. She is our newest Palino. She is the IO Events Director. She is in charge of all events that are sponsored through Island Oasis or any events that are happening on an Island Oasis region. Okay, Harley's having issues, honey. Can you help her with coming here? So, AFK... Oh, AKA, boy, do I need my glasses. I'm the fun one. So that is my Palino staff. Among my Palino staff, they also have their own staff for each department, which I believe each department is looking for new members. So everyone will kind of talk about their own things as they come up. Okay, so getting started, I would like to talk about the stats. Let me bring those up. Come on, computer's running slow. Okay, last month we had 231 new members. That's great. June we had 229. May we had 264. So we're still doing really good, even though this is supposed to be considered slow times for virtual worlds. For some reason, IO doesn't get those slow times, so that's always good to hear. We have 28 new members already this month, and it is only August 4th. So we are off to a fantastic start. Please let me know I can't get in. Are you? Okay. Allie?
Yes.
Can you do me a favor?
Sure.
Work with Harley for a minute? Because I need to get the stats from Damien? Sure. Tommy, what are you saying? I don't even know if I want to know. That's not very loving, Mr. Tommy. I'm just saying. Okay. I know I get very easily sidetracked. Back to stats. Let me bring that up. Island Oasis grid stats. Active regions we have right now, 211 active regions. Our total resident member count is 5,081. Total logins for the past 30 days is 10,471. And our unique logins, that's the key number there, for the last 30 days is 1,139. Babe, can you explain unique logins?
Yeah, unique logins is the number of unique IP addresses that have logged onto the grid in the past 30 days. So what that means is if you've logged in 100 times in the past 30 days, it's only going to count you once, IP, as an Internet Protocol address. So that way it only counts each person once per 30 days, and that's a rolling 30 days. So you'll see that number fluctuate. At midnight, it's going to roll one day off, and it'll start counting the new day. So it's a really accurate view of how many active members we have here, and that's kind of what they use that number and to kind of determine grid popularity and that sort of stuff. I know with Hypergrid Business and different websites who track grid stats, they'll use that unique logins as a determining factor as to how popular is a grid. So that's basically what that means. The same thing with total logins. That's a rolling 30 days, so as one day rolls off, it starts keeping track of the next day, and so you'll see that number fluctuate also.
Okay, next, what was it? Let me start this off and then I'll have you bring that up. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is my tier-free shops and the free land. On IP address logins, does that count people that come to my house? Just one.
Just one, yeah.
Yep, because you're all coming. Yeah, you have one IP address, so they're all coming from that same IP address.
For total logins, it'll show all 5, but for uniques, it'll only show 1 because you're all logging in from the same IP address.
Right. Wow. That would be difficult.
Yeah, that situation is common depending on who your internet service provider is. Some ISPs will rotate IPs. It just depends on who your ISP is. Yeah, I know. In Germany, they do.
Really?
Yep. And
wow.
I know sometimes even here in the U.S., Verizon will do that as well. If you've got, I think it's the fiber. What do they call it?
Fios?
Fios. If you have Fios, I think they assign you a new IP every day too. So, yeah.
Can you hear me now? Okay, moving on. Tier-free shops and free land. Some people maybe are under a misunderstanding what the intentions of these are for. The tier-free shops that I have 2 malls up, which is the Oasis Village and the Oasis Shopping Center. For those of you that do have shops there, I'm just letting you know, I'm announcing it right now, August, September. by October 1st, I am reducing the prim limits on those two regions to 150 prims per shop. The reason for that is the intentions for the stores are not to be people's main stores. That's to help people get settled into the grid, get a shop, and then venture out. So those shops are going to be reduced down to 150 prims. Remember, these are just satellite stores to help you get your feet wet, to help you get into IO. That is the full intention of those stores. For those of you who would like more than 150 prims, there are many landowners out here that are renting shops. You can contact them. You can also purchase a region. Those are two other avenues that you can go to. I'm here. Okay. Good to have you here, Harley. You'll see things in a minute. Yes.
I also want to address the rental boxes. I know we've have some people who have expressed, frustration with the rental boxes, and I can kind of understand that. The rental boxes on the free lands and the free malls require that you click on them at least once every 7 days to maintain your rental and your claim on a store or on a parcel in the free land. And we don't do that just to be a pain in the butt or that, whatever. The reason for that is so that we don't have situations where someone logs onto the grid, they claim a store, they put their stuff in the store, and then they leave and never come back again. The point is to sort of keep track and make sure that these shops, someone's on open mic.
Tasha.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Tasha, could you mute your mic, honey, please?
Okay. The idea is to make sure that these stores are being used and these parcels are being used by active members, because if we did not have the boxes, the situation would be such that people would come on, res a house on the free land or res stuff in the stores and potentially never come back, and then none of those stores would ever become available again. They never come open, they never be free and available for new members who really do want to be active here. So that's the purpose of the boxes, and so I just wanted to kind of put that out there. It wasn't, the intention is not to make things difficult. The intention is to make sure that these spaces are being utilized by active members.
And when it comes to the free land, please remember that, first of all, I do not eject people from that group. I'm going to be changing the boxes again. A lot of people seem to be offended. The box itself, it removes people from the group. Okay, can you guys hear me?
I can try to type and paraphrase what you're saying if that helps.
Am I better now? Hopefully I'm better. Okay. The free land, the boxes are the ones that eject you from the group. The reason it does that is that group was getting extremely huge. People would come, rent a box, join the group, and they would just forever stay in that group. So we decided to change it where it would just take you out of the group if your box expired, where you're always able to click on the box again to re-enter that group. I've noticed that because of that, and it states that I'm ejecting you from the group, I'm really not. I just own the box and I own the group. That's why it says that I am. I will be changing that so that way you're not ejected from the group. Periodically, we will go through and clean that group, though. Just kind of a heads up, because the group does get extremely large. The only time you have to rejoin is if you've been ejected from the group. But when we go through, we're working with somebody on the grid that's also going to be doing a rental system for us. That should help clear up all of this. So until then, I'm going to change back to the regular rental boxes that we're using where it does not remove you from the group. Because I believe there are people that are not understanding that I'm not ejecting people and I'm not doing things to be mean. That was just how the systems was. I always wish they would. I know. It just seems so harsh.
Yeah, I mean, it was intended to control the group population because at one point we had over 2,000 people in that group, and the majority of them were no longer using the freelance because the freelance is only 288 parcels.
Somebody was asking about the trims at the freelance. Are they being reduced too?
No. No, they're not being reduced.
Yep. The freelance are still 280. That's enough to kind of get you a small home and a little place to call yours. But again, remember that those are gifts. It's a gift from the grid to give you those. We still maintain them. We still have servers that host them and things. So it is a gift. It's not required. I'm not sure of other grids that do that, but again, I don't venture out much to see the other grids. So just remember that if you're having issues, please be patient. Let us know, and we will try to take care of those as quickly as possible. Okay, on to my next. And one, I appreciate it. Sure ahead, sweet kitty. Go ahead. Sliding around on the seat of my swing set. Why do I still slide around? That would be best suited for Sub-Zero once he gets up here. Oh, that was my dog. Sorry, I had to take her toy away. Once Sub gets up here and talks about things, he'll be able to help you with that more. Okay, Isis, you had a question also? Related to the marketplace. Marketplace, if you could hold that question for Damien, he has updates and things that he'll be talking about the marketplace, and then he'll be able to answer any questions afterwards. The best thing to do, guys, we do want your questions, but it'll go a lot easier if you can address the question to the person, if like whatever I'm talking about, if you have questions about that. At the end of our meeting, if your questions have not been answered, I do open the floor for anybody to ask any questions. Sure, go ahead, hon. file. Having a problem uploading mesh. Who should I talk to? It worked yesterday.
I can help you with that after the meeting. Send me an IM or whatever. We'll get together after the meeting and we'll give it another try, and we'll see what happens, and we'll just kind of troubleshoot it at that point. Okay. Yeah, so we'll address it after the meeting, if that's okay with you, if you're going to be around and have some time. This is Damien speaking.
Yeah, honey, you need to let people know.
You're welcome. Okay, Corey. Sorry, not feeling well.
Okay, take care, Corey.
Yep,
We are recording it, so you can always watch it later.
Yep. This meeting will be on YouTube.
It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on our website. Yep. No problem. You'll get to know voices. We'll be posting all of that after the meeting. You'll be able to get to the YouTube links, our news portal, or the info portal, our website. We have just kind of posted it in a lot of different places. Okay, so moving on to one of my main topics that I want to discuss with people. When people come up and say, I'm not making any money, there's nobody here on the grid. That statement is not true. As you can see from our stats, we have a lot of people that are on our grid. I know, we're going to do that in just a minute, hon. Let me give you an example of why some people are not making money. Because this happened to me. And it happened recently. I'm still a member in Second Life. Exactly, Tommy. I'm still a member in Second Life, but on my land in Second Life, I have an info hub advertising and things about Island Oasis. And obviously, Second Life keeps track of traffic. So I spent all this money for this first land, thought this is going to be great. It's on mainland, great area. But there was not a lot of natural foot traffic. But I'm not in Second Life to advertise. I don't personally go in there. Allie, I go in, maybe once a month? Maybe?
Yeah,
if that.
Once or twice a month, yeah. Not much, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Once or twice a month I go in Second Life just to kind of check on stats and traffic and things like that. At the place that I previously had, because there is no natural foot traffic, just people walking up and looking around, and because I was not advertising, my traffic was zero. Nobody came to the store, or nobody came to the info hub at all to see anything about Island Oasis. So me and Allie sat and talked, and there's another info hub that we had a piece of land by that does get traffic because that's natural foot traffic. So we changed the info hub to over there, and now we get a fair amount of just natural people walking around mainland foot traffic. But again, if I don't advertise or put myself in a location where just people walking around are going to see what I have to offer, I'm not going to sell anything. I'm not going to have people see anything that I want to show them. Now, a lot of people come from Second Life, and they kind of have the Second Life mentality because Second Life is so ginormous that there's always people around. Where most of the time, if you have a shop or something and it's in a bigger mall, you're going to get some kind of traffic. But again, if you do not advertise, including in Second Life, you won't make money. That is with any business on the face of this earth, whether it's virtual or real life. If you do not advertise, don't question why you have no money. Because advertising and money come hand in hand. There are people on this grid that are here on this region right now. I see a few of them right now that have made lots of money here. So it is possible to rent out your land. But again, if you don't let people know that you're renting out your land, they're not going to know it's there. If you have a shop somewhere, if you don't let people know what you're selling, they're not going to know. They're going to go to somebody else who advertised that says, hey, come to my shop, look at what I have to offer. They're going to go there. So it is extremely important for you to advertise. We give you many, many different avenues to advertise with. First is the very simple, easiest thing. Make sure you keep your classifieds updated. It really does not cost you anything, even though it says it, 50, 100 Pelinos, whatever it says, it really doesn't. That is a viewer thing. We can't change that, unfortunately, but it does not cost you anything to do a classified. Keep those up to date with current landmarks. Make sure you have your things in the classified. So that way, when the mentors tell new people that land, somebody says, hey, I'm looking for a cool pair of shoes. Where can I find them? The mentors will tell them, well, if you open your search and you click on classified and type in shoes, a whole list will come up for you. If you don't put your things in classifieds, you won't be shown there. Second thing, we have many different advertising boards around the grid. I have some at the Welcome Zone. Other people have theirs on their own regions that they either rent out or do for free to let you put advertisement there, landmark givers, things like that. Third thing, we have our Facebook page that I encourage each and every member to join Facebook with their Abby and post. Yep, you want to post on Facebook. Let people know who maybe are not in Island Oasis but are watching our Facebook what you have to offer. Fourth thing that we have, which this I will let Damien speak about, is our splash page ads. Those are going to be extremely huge. Honey, if you want to take over there.
Yeah, we just implemented a new program to sell ad space on our splash page. Now, for those who may not know what that is, a splash page is the page that shows when you first open your viewer and you select the grid that you're going to log in. Yeah, we have 2 of them running now, and we're accepting up to 30 submissions. What? Do what?
Just walk up on the
Okay, all right. Well, you didn't do the money stats, so I thought you were still doing that.
because I want you to do the money stats while you're talking.
All right, well, I can't move, so.
Okay.
Anyways. Okay, yeah, we have a splash page ad program that we just started, and basically that is you can go to the website, log into your account. There's a link on there called it's a merchant ad form where you can submit an advertisement. We accept 30 submissions per month. So right now, we're accepting submissions for September. And then once the end of this month is done, then we'll cut that off and we'll run those ads in September, and we'll begin accepting submissions for October. Right now, currently, we have 2 ads running, and hopefully this will grow, and we'll start to see more and more merchants utilizing this tool. With the statistics we currently have now, with over 10,000 logins in a 30-day period, your ad will get quite a bit of exposure. So that's another way to, promote and let people know that you're here. It runs for 30 days. The ad runs for 30 days. So, yep. Yeah, Horse World is one, and I think it's the other one is for it's for Carpe. It's Treasured Cove is the other one. So yeah, we're now accepting ads for September. We're going to be expanding that program very soon in the near future to actually show ads at the top of the marketplace page. So we're going to be expanding that. The cost is $20 a month. It's a one-time payment. And you can, like I said, you upload your image. The page that you submit the image gives you specifications, and yep, it's $20 for 30 days. And you get, it tells you the specifications, image type, image size, dimensions, so that it displays properly on the page. And then you make a one-time payment, and then your ad is set to go for the next calendar month. And then we're going to be expanding that program to the marketplace as well. And so that's coming up. I might as well go into some of these things. I'm going to go over the money stat because Sugar didn't do that real quick. Just a real quick thing to address the issue and the question of, well, there's no customers here, nobody spends money in Island Oasis. We track these stats just so we can keep an eye on trend and see how things are going. Right now, and this is a rolling 30 days, much like the login statistics. Over the past 30 days, there have been over 4,000 financial transactions here in Island Oasis. A total of 765,000 Palinos has changed hands here in IO in the past 30 days. There is over 1.6 million Palinos currently in circulation. So the economy here is healthy. People are buying things. People are selling things. There is money to be made here. So to reiterate what Sugar was saying, there's a direct correlation between the amount of effort someone makes to promote their store, their venue, their product, and how much money they make.
Sweet Kitty asked how much again? Can you repeat how much?
Like I said, the past 30 days, there's over 4,000 transactions. Over 700,000 Palinos have been transacted in the past 30 days. And over 1.6 million Palinos are currently in circulation. So the IO economy is healthy. People are selling stuff. People are buying stuff. It's there. So it's, like I said, it's a direct correlation between the amount of effort someone makes to promote and market their product and service and how much money they make. Unlike in Second Life, because of the amount of people that Second Life has, in most cases, it's okay to just put your place in search and maybe create a classified, and that's it. And you can just wait for people to show up. I mean, there's no guarantee you're going to be successful, But in an open sim grid, not just our grid, but any open sim grid, it requires a little bit more effort. So I would recommend the things that Sugar discussed.
Advertising.
Yeah.
Advertise.
Oh, SL's got millions of people, millions and millions of members, and I think 40-some thousand people on average are logged in at any given time.
Yeah, I logged in this morning, and there was 43,000 people logged into the grid still. It has greatly diminished from when I used to
millions
be
of
in
alts.
there, and there was 80,000 logged in. Exactly. How many are alts?
Yeah. Well, they're really hurting because of the closing of Teen Grid. That's about the time when Sugar and I left SL. And with the closing of Teen Grid, then all those teenagers sort of migrated into the production grid. And, that's traffic, but unfortunately a lot of teens have no money to spend. So they're not generating revenue. So although they might have the traffic, they don't necessarily have the economy over there anymore. So that's kind of an issue. So getting back to what I was saying, the advertising is being expanded. We're making modifications to the marketplace, and I think Isis had a question regarding the marketplace. We can address that now if you want. Okay, go ahead. I haven't tracked how many of those Palinos go through the marketplace. It's a small percentage of the total number. Did the grid manage to get a free spot somewhere? Okay. Drop the marketplace box onto it, then vanished. Okay. What happens is the market box will not properly register on the freelance. You have to have a store.
Can you explain the reason why we do not allow that? It's
Right.
done purposely.
That was an intentional decision that we made way back when we first launched the marketplace. Okay. Well, there's nothing we can do about that. Unfortunately, basically what we did when we started the marketplace is we said we're not going to let people put their market boxes on the freelance because we want to ensure that people are also selling content in world and not just on the marketplace. You had said once one can be on the marketplace if the person has a store in world. Right. That's why
they're not allowed to do that on the free land that we give them. If they put a box down, it disappears. It will not even register on the marketplace.
Right. The market box will not work. Okay, hold on one second. I got 3 questions coming at me. Hold on one second, guys. Let me finish address. Only keeping their products in the marketplace. The intention of the marketplace is to provide a secondary means to sell product. Obviously, we want people to sell product in world as well as on the marketplace. Okay, so when we implemented the marketplace, we set a basic policy that says you can't res your market box on the freelance. You have to have an in-world location where you are allowed to res. Okay, that's the point. So that they have to have a place in world. Now, if I buy a sim, I can res a market box on my sim, and I don't necessarily have to have a store on my sim in order to res my market box. Now, for me to manage that and to double check each and every market box that's res to make sure that that person has content somewhere else on the grid to sell, it's not feasible. It's not really possible. I don't have enough time to make sure that every market box that's registered, the owner of that box is also they also have a store somewhere in the world. I just don't have time to manage that. But what I can do is I can prevent them from resing a market box or registering a market box on the freelance or on one of the other public regions. The URL to their store. It's something we can talk about. Obviously, I want to make sure that things are being done fairly. I want people selling content in the world. Right. Yeah, that's a problem because I do work in real life, so I need my sleep. But yeah, that's something we can discuss, and I can discuss that with Allison and Sugar and see maybe if there are additional steps we can take to ensure that the people who have Market Box resed out are actually also selling stuff in World. I don't know. It might be possible. But I can tell you I don't have time to manually check and make sure that people who have Market Boxes resed also are selling content in World. Oh, and I understand that, and I agree. I want it to be an even playing field, fair for everybody. I agree. That's why we implemented that policy in the first place. The one thing to remember, though, is if someone's selling stuff in World or selling stuff on the marketplace, there's still Polinos changing hands. There's still product being delivered. So although it's not happening in World, it's still somewhat benefiting the grid. There's still transactions taking place. People are still making money, and people are happy. So the marketplace is not evil. It's not something that's necessarily going to hurt the grid. I know there's probably differing opinions on this. We even, went back and forth as to whether we were going to do a marketplace. But we decided to do it because the demand was pretty high. And so we're going to do what we can to make sure it's done fairly. Okay. There was a bunch of other questions that popped up here. I think Sarah had one. I missed hers.
She had asked if the price for the advertisement of the splash page is also included for the marketplace, or are they separate prices or whatever?
Oh, the ad for the marketplace banner will be a lower price. It will be a lower price. It will have a price, but it will be less. The reason for that is the marketplace doesn't get as much traffic. The traffic on the splash page is well over 10,000. I can say a minimum of 10,000 views a month because those are the actual logins, but I can assure you that it's much higher than that. Whereas the marketplace may not get as much traffic, so I can't, honestly charge as much for that.
We still have to work out all the details with the marketplace.
Yeah, that program is still sort of in planning stages. But the splash page is implemented and people are using it. Yeah,
when it does become available, we will announce it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, most likely it will be announced at the next month's town hall meeting. That's when I intend on having that ready to go. And we'll nail down all the details and everything like that as well. We're making some changes to the marketplace. I've been working on it this morning, Allie. I've actually implemented some of the changes that you and I discussed. Adding additional navigation to the tops and the bottoms of the individual merchant shops. The ability to show up to 48 items per page on the merchant shops. And we're making some minor changes like that. So I'm working on those changes. And I'm implementing those as I go. There's no category for animals, but I'm not against the idea. We can come up with something that would work for that and be generic enough maybe it can be used for other things too. But yeah, we can do something like that. And what was the last question? I just missed that. Where can I get a marketplace box? The boxes are given freely at the landing zone. There's a kiosk there where you can click it and it will give you one. You're welcome. Let's see, what was my next topic? Oh, wait for me to garden on my people buy some. Now, see, that's the thing. The freelance is for residential purposes only.
In fact, honey, if I could take this.
Sure.
If it is found that anybody is selling anything on the free land, without question, your items will be returned to you. If it is found a second time that you just ignored the rules, because that's part of the rules for the free land, is it is residential only, absolutely no selling of any kind on the free land. If it is found a second time that you are trying to sell things on the free land, then you will no longer be allowed to have the free land. You'll be banned from that area. See, that is free. No, it can't even be for free. We have a free mall. If you would like to donate something to our free mall, you are more than welcome to do that. Yep, that would be great. Just drop down what you want. But absolutely, under no circumstances are the free lands to be used for anything but putting a home down and calling it home. If the free lands are abused because it is a gift, the gift is taken away. So we try to make this a fair and impartial grid for everybody. And it's not really fair if other people go out and buy land to put their shop down when, they could put it down on the free land. I mean, that obviously would be better. So that is why we do not allow that whatsoever. Yep, go ahead.
All right, so yeah, we're working on some additional enhancements to the marketplace to make it more user-friendly, easier to use, more fair to the merchant to make sure that the products are being displayed in a way that's going to best benefit them. We're adding the ability to sort by newest to oldest. That's just an example. Right now that's currently not there. So you can sort the items not just by price, but also by how long it's been on the marketplace. So if you like to, if you like someone's product and you want to go to their merchant shop, you can see what's their newest stuff. That's coming out in the next couple days. So that's just an example of some of the changes being made to the marketplace. We're improving that to make it better for not only the customer, the consumer, but also for the merchant as well. Let's see. Changes to the website. We've added some features and functionality to the website for those of you who question it, say, but there's no go button. If you just hit tab, it will kick off the search. I can add a go button or search button to it. That'll be fine. Tab, the tab key. When you tab off of that field, it should kick off the search. Talked about the new ads, the marketplace banner ads coming out, and likely will be announced by the next town hall meeting. Changes to the website, some additional changes that we have made and we have already implemented is for those of you who own regions. If you go into your region manager on the website, if you log on to the website with your account, you go to your regions, you see your list of regions from there. You can do a couple things. Before you could restart your region, launch your region, shut your region down. But now we've added additional features, one of which is to do an upgrade or downgrade. Because before this, if someone wanted to upgrade their region from a premium to a homestead or a homestead to a full, or downgrade from a homestead to a premium, whatever, it was kind of a hassle. They had to IM me or Sugar or someone on my staff, and they'd get me, the information, and I would have to send them an email with a link and all this other stuff. The way it works now is you select your region name, you click the button, you choose what you want to upgrade or downgrade it to, and it takes care of it. It sends you an email, it sends me an email. It also forwards you to PayPal so you can set up your new payment arrangement for the new SIM. And once we get confirmation of that, we cancel your old one, and then your region will be upgraded or downgraded. Same thing with changing payment information. If you need to, for example, you're paying currently with PayPal, and something has come up and you need to change your payment arrangement to be a credit card or debit card or something different, we also have a button on there to handle that as well. So that's been added to the website recently. Obviously, we still have the functionality of you can restart your regions. You must restart your regions from the website. If you have someone who is a good friend of yours and you make them a state manager and you want them to have the ability to restart your regions for you, you can contact me and I will add them to the list. To add them to the list so that they can also access your regions on the website and do restarts from there as well. So it goes hand in hand with making them an estate manager. Send me an IM or a request or a note card in my mailbox at the landing zone requesting that they be added as a region manager so that you can so that they can restart your regions for you. VeerWalks, no, we have no intentions on bringing VeerWalks here. We did at one time. When we first started here, we had VeerWalks. That was our only currency system. Now we have our own currency system. So no, we have no intentions of bringing VeerWalks here. What else? Let's see. Anybody have any questions about what I just discussed? The website changes, the advertising, the banners in the marketplace, and the marketplace changes. Does anybody have any questions regarding that? Okay, go ahead. If you send a note card to Sugar, she can work with you on that. We have ad boards at the welcome zone that she
It's
rents
not
out.
sending me a note card. If you click on one of the ad boards, the ones that I have, I don't know how other people's, I believe Isis has some. Tommy, do you have some over by you? Sierra?
Yeah.
Okay, Sierra has some.
Okay.
Okay, there's individuals that also have them. You would have to ask them how they do it. Harley is another one. For mine, if you click on an open ad board, it will give you a note card and explain to you what you need to do. So it's real simple. My ad boards are 400 Palinos for the lifetime of that landmark. So if you change your location, that ad board is null and void. You would have to redo it again, redo a new one. But as long as you keep that location, then it's fine. You can update textures. That's free. Just kind of send me a note card with the texture in it. But otherwise, it's for the lifetime of that landmark. Again, the individuals with everybody else's malls that are here, you would have to speak directly to them on how theirs work.
And I believe most of our mall owners here have ads, classified ads, so you could probably pretty quickly and easily contact any and all mall owners here on the grid. Okay, so any other questions regarding advertising on the splash page, advertising the upcoming ads for the marketplace changes? Any other questions regarding those topics?
I have a question.
Yes.
Do we have an events thing on our website?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, that was kind of for you to explain.
Oh, yes, sorry. Okay,
I know
guess
you're not real quick on the uptake.
Sorry, I'm a little slow today. I was rudely awoken this morning, so I'm still kind of like not quite here. Okay, Lion, go ahead. I'll answer yours first. sing and dance here while I'm waiting. Sorry. Change Force was name. I think the old LMs are okay. Am I right? Yeah, changing the name of the sim will not affect landmarks at all. Only if the sim for some reason has to be recreated from scratch and the sim ID changes, but the name is really ancillary. So no, that won't have any effect on landmarks. Okay, no problem. Okay, I guess I'll talk now about events. We have added an events section to our homepage on our website. Events are also being displayed on the splash page. So go ahead and post your in-world events if you're having, a DJ or a live performer, or if you're having a grand opening, something like that. Feel free to post the events. It doesn't cost anything to do that. And it's good for the grid. It's good for you. You're going to get more exposure that way. When you log on to the website, Kitty, you'll see a link that says events on the left-hand side, and there you will see a form to fill out where you can post your events. Again, it doesn't cost anything, and it's pretty cool. And I like to see a lot of stuff listed in the events. Yes, Tommy he listed like 14 things the other day, and that was like, yeah, finally someone's using it. I was happy to see that. So that's good. More the merrier. Okay. So yes, we have the events. They are now working and live in production. I think the last topic that I'm going to be covering is going to be inventory. This is a new feature that is going to be rolled out. I am estimating a month to develop, test, and implement. And that is the ability for each person to create an inventory backup of their inventory. Now, let me make sure I'm clear on this. The backup is not delivered to you. The backup is stored securely on our servers. We keep them. So the way this would work is you would log onto the website, similar to how you do for your region owners, similar to how you do your region backups. Anybody on the grid can log onto the website and go to an inventory section where they can click a button to create an inventory backup. And then that inventory backup is stored securely on our servers, so that if for some reason something were to happen to your inventory, we can use that backup then to restore, and that way your inventory stays intact. And we don't deliver the file to you because it's basically just going to be a SQL dump of the data, so you're not going to be able to do anything with it anyway. It actually doesn't store the assets, so the backups will be pretty small. It's just the actual metadata, the names, the UIDs, the descriptions, the permissions, that kind of stuff. That's really the only thing it's backing up. But it's backing everything up, and you guys can create these backups at your own leisure. Okay, so, and you'll be able to keep one backup on file, and you can update it whenever you wish. Okay, so that's the feature I'm working on. And that will most likely be rolled out and implemented by the time we meet next time in September. So that's kind of big to my knowledge. The only other grid that does this is InWorlds. So whatever you last update to backup is what you get if you lose your inventory.
If you back your inventory up hypothetically today, you make lots of changes, a month from now you back up your inventory again, it will be to the current backup inventory. So the one that you made previous is no longer there. Whatever is your current inventory at the time of that backup is the one that will be restored.
Right.
And again, I want to make this perfectly clear for all content creators. Your content will not leave this grid. We will not be giving out any files for people to take anywhere else. It is just to help them in here. They will not have access to it except for clicking a button. They won't be able to see it. They won't be able to do anything with it. Your content is secured as it normally is.
Now, I just want to make sure everybody understands this. We do daily backups of everybody's inventory for disaster recovery purposes. So that is taken care of. This is an additional feature for your convenience to allow you to create snapshots of, okay, I'd like my inventory the way it is now, back it up, just in case. So that if you need, for some reason, something happens, you want to roll back to that backup, you can. It's similar to how the region backups work. So that's the purpose of that. And that feature, like I said, will be rolled out most likely by the time we meet next month for our next town hall meeting. So that's all I had. So I'm going to hand things back over to Sugar. Thank you guys for listening to me bore you and talk and talk. Yes, Isis? Of course. What's your question? Oh, Lion has another one too. Okay. Still in process. We have a module that works. The problem is the module was implemented with 076, which is still not in production. And 076 is not stable enough for me to pull it into our production grid. I tested it on beta, and although the group notice attachments worked great, the grid software was broken and caused all kinds of problems on my beta grid. So I'm not confident and comfortable with implementing that yet, but when 076 comes out, we'll be testing it on beta, and with that rollout will come group notice attachments. I've been working with, I can't remember her name. She is the person that developed the group module. Been working with her to try and retrofit her module into the 0742 version, but haven't had much luck with that. But that's still, we're still working on it, let's put it that way. How is the search for using a server data center? Good. We have a data center picked out. We still haven't taken a tour of it yet, but I've been talking to the sales manager. There's a data center in it's actually not Milwaukee. It's Brookfield. It's a data center in Brookfield. It's a Class A data center. So we're working with them to schedule when we're going to actually move all of the servers into the data center. The onus is on us to get the rest of our servers converted to rack chassis format, because currently the form factors for some of our region or some of our servers is still towers. So we have to get some of our tower servers into a chassis form factor, but once we do that, then we can get all of the servers migrated into that data center. So it's an ongoing project. It hasn't been forgotten. We're working on it. And hopefully, sooner than later, we'll get that all moved over. And yes, you guys will see a significant performance improvement when that happens. Okay, so I'm going to hand things back over to Sugar. And thank you guys.
Thanks, Damien. Does anybody have any questions at all about things I was speaking about previously? Daisy had a question. Okay, go ahead, Daisy. I have a folder outside of my inventory folder. It won't let me delete it. It depends on where it's from. I know when we used to be hypergridded, there is a folder that came from back then that, yeah, suitcase. You just cannot remove it. It just is what it is. We've tried everything to get rid of that damn folder. And not even me. I have a suitcase folder, and it's just there. Was it a different kind of folder or a different folder that you were talking about? Stacy, a matchbook. No, just a folder I created. Well, then if it was one that you created, then it should be, as long as it's not in your suitcase. I have one similar that accidentally got dragged there. Oh, if it got dragged into your suitcase? Yeah, it's there. Friend had that. It was not listed under inventory. And for some reason, the suitcase, when we were hypergridded, that's the folder that the hypergrid uses when you use the hypergates to the other places. We no longer have the hypergates here, so that folder is what it is. You only get that folder, I believe, if you were around at the time when we had the hypergrid, when we were hypergridded.
Yeah, the hypergrid software actually creates the folder for you, because what it does is when you hypergrid from one grid to another, what it does is it takes a snapshot of your inventory and compacts it and compresses it and sticks it in that folder so that it goes with you when you go to the other grid. So for those who did hyper jump from one grid to another, you would have a folder.
I think so, Daisy.
But for those who don't or haven't done that, you wouldn't have a folder like that.
Yeah, but Isis, you didn't jump from here to any other.
Yeah, you would have to actually make the jump from, let's say, for example, back when we were hypergridded, you could teleport from IO to OS grid. You would have had to actually do that in order for that folder to be created.
Daisy, get with me and Damien after the meeting, and we'll try and figure out this folder thing. The only one I know that we can't delete is the suitcase, because it just doesn't let you. For those of you who don't know what hypergrid is there are some other grids that do allow hypergrid. It's where you can be in, for hypothetical purposes, you could be in Island Oasis and go to in-worlds. You would just teleport there. You would teleport your Abby and your inventory. The only problem with that is that the content is not secure. 99% of the time when people would go to another grid, their avatars would break, and with things not being secure, OS Grid allows you to connect your own region, and you're able to change permissions. Now, if you were to bring content from here that you took over to OS Grid, you could change all permissions and things and do what you wanted with them.
Let me give you a hypothetical scenario, and this is why we turned hypergrid off. Let's say, for example, Island Oasis was hypergridded, and you're selling a product, and someone OS Grid, it's another open sim grid. Let's say you're selling a product in your store. Someone hypergrid jumps from OS Grid to here. They purchase your product, then they jump back. Their region is most likely hosted on their home computer in their house. They could then turn off server permissions, take your stuff, make it all full perm, make it so that they're the creator. They could repackage it, hyperjump back to IO, and sell it as their own. That's why we turned it off.
And
It doesn't-
ISIS, I know that they have done improvements.
But still,
At this point in time, I still
Yeah.
do not want the hypergates whatsoever. I still think it is a huge security risk. And I do know that a lot of content creators
will not.
will not even step foot on a grid
Right.
that has hypergates.
It's the issue with hypergrid's not the technology. The issue with hypergrid is the policies. There's no policy to prevent someone from hosting a region on their home computer and messing with people's object permissions. As long as that is permitted, hypergrid will never be secure. Even if the technology, makes leaps and bounds, as long as OS grid exists and they allow people to connect from their home computers, hypergrid will never be secure. And as a result, no hypergrided grid will ever have a viable economy because everything is free. It's too easy to take stuff that doesn't belong to you and make it your own.
Yep, that is correct. Okay, Lion has another question. Can we XML our own things between? I don't know what InWorld's policy is, but I believe here you can create, as long as you are the creator, you can create an XML. I don't know what InWorld's policies are for uploading, anything like that, but I know you can make your own here, but it will only make it if you are the creator. My understanding is the viewer that you make it with is the same viewer that you have to bring it in with. Does not allow to export. They don't do XMLs either? I know we don't export OARs.
Right. We allow region owners to make OAR backups, but we keep them on our servers as well.
Right, if you're the original creator. That's what I was explaining.
Yeah. And DMCA, someone mentioned something about DMCA. No, that is a clear violation of DMCA. The issue is somebody, the onus is on the creator to file a DMCA report. So if the creator never files a DMCA report, then nothing is ever done about it.
Sorry, good timing, Harley. That would crack me up. Okay, does anybody have any other questions about any topics that I have covered or any topics that Damien has covered? Was going to ask. Okay, Harley has a question. Can I upload and use OARs? Yes, you can upload OARs and use them, but they have to come directly through Damien. It's not something that you could go to your viewer and say, upload this OAR. It doesn't work like that. Any and all OAR files have to come through Damien.
OAR is an OpenSIM archive file. Basically what it is, it's a snapshot of an entire region and all the objects on it.
Is there a place to get a working vehicle script and create custom content? We do have working vehicle scripts that I believe Damien sub.
There's a car, motorcycle, boat, and plane script on the Oasis Speedway Sim. The car, boat, and motorcycle scripts are free. The plane script I think costs, but I can't remember what it is. It's nominal though. It's not a lot, but they are there and they're mod, and you can do whatever you want with them at that point. full perm.
Sub will be talking to you about scripts and things and vehicle scripts, especially Sub. I want you to touch base on vehicle scripts and SL scripts when you get up here. Sweet Kitty, are you talking about where? Oh, Sub must have just answered. Okay. What about an inner two of scripts so your inner two moves with you in them? Again, that will be for Sub when he gets up here. Those are all specific kind of scripts. And Sub deals with all scripts. Alright, does anybody have any questions? Can I trade my real life for future here? Sure, you could try that. Let me know how that works. Harley, you have a question? Sure, go ahead. Harley's just typing a question. Just waiting for her. If I make a save on my sim, I know I have 5, but wanted to ask, if I upload and use OARs, can I keep those saves? Definitely. When it comes to OARs, Harley, we do not give out OARs. So if you make an OAR like on a standalone region, that's yours to keep. We can upload that here. We cannot make and give OARs to you personally. We have made that part of our policy because even though I may know that you created all of this, no, I mean upload. You mean if you're like have a standalone, not connected to I/O, and you make an OAR and you want to upload it? Is that what you're talking about? Free content. Okay, again, when it comes to free sites, any OARs, if the OAR is not from in Island Oasis, we can bring it in here if you have it. Again, the only way to do that is to go through Damien. If it's something that you want to keep forever, the OAR that you give Damien, you would just keep on your computer. What we cannot do is, Harley, with all of your regions, we cannot make an OAR backup of your region, give you that OAR, not on any, it doesn't matter OARs. We will import OARs, we will not ever export OARs, no matter how big, how small, could be one thing, could be a million. We will not ever export OARs, but we will... Yeah, I seen you just ordered another one. Yeah, we will not ever export OARs, no matter how big or small the export is, But if you have one on your computer or something like that that you would like to import here, we will import them. In order to import OARs, you have to own the land. Exactly, sub. Because if we were to give you OARs, like I was trying to explain, even though I may know you have all your content, you created all your content, for the people that I don't know, it has to be fair. They could have, hypothetical Tommy could say, can you make me an OAR of my mall? Well, that means that he has everybody's content now on his computer. And that's a huge security risk.
Right. So if the OAR was created or downloaded from a free content site like a Linda Kelly OAR or something like that, or if it's an OAR that you created on your own standalone computer, yes, we can import it here.
That has happened too.
To do that, you would just have to send me the file, and I can load it because an OAR must be loaded on the server. It can't be loaded through the viewer.
And ISIS, when it comes to IAR files, we haven't done any. We don't have a policy on that. I know I did one of mine, just kind of testing it, and it took forever. So I honestly don't know yet. That is something that we can discuss. Doing the inventory upload, the IAR files. Yeah, we can discuss that within the Palitos. We honestly need to find out more information about it.
Yeah, because I guess we have to consider every possible scenario, and there's always going to be a scenario where someone's going to try and abuse it or use it as a tool to take things that don't belong to them. I know that the majority of the people will use it honestly and fairly, but there's always going to be those people that are going to try and find a way around the system and use those types of facilities to cheat, steal, lie, whatever. And we have to make sure that our policy is a blanket policy and it's applied evenly and equally to everybody. So we have to be very careful about, saying yes to something like that.
Right. We're just not very familiar with the IARs, which we will look into, and I can get back to you. Can I make different saves using different OARs?
Well, our current region backup facility that we currently have on the region manager, you can take a snapshot of your region. So for example, let's say you decorate your region for Halloween and you really like the way your region looks, you can take a backup of it. And then you can do another, then go and modify your region again and do it for Christmas and take another backup. And then later next year, you can take an old backup that you created here and restore it onto your sim. So you don't have to redo all that work.
We do 5?
You're allowed to keep up to 5 region backups on file.
But again, you have to be the region owner in order to do that.
Yep, then you can just click a button, select the backup, click restore, and it will load that OAR back on your sim for you.
But again, that is only for the region owners. They're the ones that have to take the backup, and they're the ones who would be doing the restore. Okay, moving along. Is there any other questions or anything that has to do with what me and Damien were talking about? But that's not what I asked. I want to know if I can use 5 different OARs. So you have, okay, Harley, let me try to think what you're saying. You found 5 different OARs somewhere and you want to upload those here? Okay, we can upload those here. That we can do. You can make a backup for holidays. You can make you're entitled 5 backups for each region. So if you upload 5 different ones, for like 5 different regions.
Can I help?
Okay.
I think I understand what she's saying.
I think I know what she's saying too.
Harley wants to know if she can bring in 5 different themes, and then I'm thinking what she wants to do is then, okay, she brings in 5. Number 1, she makes a backup. Number 2, she makes a backup. Number 3, she makes a backup until she fills all 5 slots, and then from there, Harley, you can go back and you can dish out those backups if I'm understanding your question correctly. You can upload them, but you'll have to put one down. You know what I mean? You'll have to put one down and then make a backup. Put another one down, make a backup. Put another one down, put a backup. You can do this in a matter of just, the same day type of thing. But you have to get with Damien for the actual uploads.
Right. What
files.
You would do, Harley, is you would send me the OARs in an email. I would then take the OARs, systematically load them onto your region, and I would load the first one, then you would take a backup of your region. I'd load the second one, you take another backup of your region, and then you can go back, and then the backups are available for you on the website where you can load them at your leisure. So yes, the answer, it's a simple answer, yes, we can do that. But you'll have to work with me on that.
Sorry, I must have been just not grasping what she was trying to say. Okay, is there any other questions, comments, or concerns for anything that me or Damien have discussed? Going once. Let's see. Nothing. Hey, moms. Oh, what, Tommy? Okay. All right. Moving on will be Miss Allison.
Hi, everyone. So glad so many of you could make it here. For those of you who don't know, I'm Allison Polino. I'm the marketing director here, customer liaison. You name it, I'll try it. For the marketing department, we do quite a bit, whether it's media focus, public relations, or customer focus, or social media. So we kind of are all over the place with that. We're always in need of additional staff for helping out with this or that project. We do have different perks and whatnot for being available for support staff here. Just see me if anybody's interested in any one of those. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about event hosting. That's something that, as Damien mentioned and Sugar mentioned, we just recently rolled out. And I'm going to post a link here in public chat. And I just recently started a tutorials page through our information portal. When you log into the main site, you'll see a big kind of square box that tells you to go to the information portal. We've tried to compile a lot of different information, including our grid news and updates. Any news that we have to announce is usually there as well. But I recently started a tutorial section there. The first one that's on there is regarding how to post an event. I did it in the format of a slideshow because there are some people with maybe some lower end either internet connections or maybe graphics card limitations, and so they're not able to view videos all the time. So what I wanted to do is to make sure that the information was out there in some sort of a viewable format across the board, so that hopefully it'll take you step by step through creating a video, creating an event to post here. When you do go to our website to post an event, not only is it going to post on that splash page, it's also going to list here in World, as well as our main site where you have the events tab. So that's 3 different locations people could potentially look and see what you're doing. So we want to make sure that we're, supporting community here by making sure that new people and older people who are already here are knowing what's going on in the grid. As somebody mentioned, DJ Tommy had taken advantage of that and started listing things, which is great. It lets people know where to go and what's currently going on. So we do encourage you, any sort of event that you have, to make sure to list it. Let people know that you're out there. That's always a good thing. The next thing I wanted to talk about is just kind of a heads up for creating the IO URLs, which are different than looking at a viewer and clicking the world map and clicking copy SLURL to clipboard. depending on the type of viewer you're using, that link may or may not be the same for all people, and even though you can always use your own link because you've created it, the one thing with that is that other people may not be able to do it. So what Damien's done is it created a way of location-based linking so that not only can you use it in world, you can use it out of world on various sites, blogs, and everything. It just kind of opens the map, and then you can teleport from there directly to in world. So if anyone has any problems creating an IO URL, which is not done through your viewer, you have to go to our website and click on the icon for our grid world map, and that's where you create one. Yeah, then how do we do it right? We want to go to the actual website, the islandoasis.biz, and there'll be a large blue icon of a world. You click that, and up at the top it'll say Create IO URL. From there, it's real easy. You can just no, your splash ad is wonderful. I think it's just fine. But if anybody needs any help with those, that's also going to be posted in the tutorials. Now, all the tutorials that I'll be doing in the format of slideshows, hopefully September, if not sooner, they'll also be available in video viewing format as well and available on our YouTube channel. Somebody earlier had asked about our YouTube channel. When you look at my profile, Town Hall Meeting, it's posted there. The link is posted there. On our news page, when I announce that we're having a Town Hall meeting, there'll always be an active link to the videos. That way you can check in about a week, if not sooner, and we'll have our Town Hall meeting there as well. Right, when you're in World, you can use an SL URL, but the problem with using an SL URL in World is that people have created them in one viewer, and someone else looking at them in another viewer may not be able to click on your link and get there where they're going. If you're in World, just pass them a landmark. That always helps too. So, right. But we've noticed that, so that's one issue we're trying to take care of and help and do what we can. Yeah, landmarks are always awesome to be used in World. But there'll be more and more of the tutorials that are coming up, things like creating a new IO URL, ordering land, restarting and backing up your regions is more. One of the things that Sugar had mentioned earlier is never restart your region from your viewer in World. We've created an easy way for you to do that through the website. Correct. For Sweet Kitty. Yeah. So I'll be posting more of the tutorials in both formats, both slideshows and in video. And please let me know if you want or have any suggestions on any tutorials. I'll be happy to do them and make them public for all. Yeah, I'm currently working on some promotional videos for I.O. Right now the campaign I'm doing is Come Blank With Me. It kind of sounds maybe a little silly and easy to start with, but I'm not trying to focus on getting new merchants here, although we always welcome. Right now we want to kind of focus on getting additional residents of any genre. And so the ads that I'm doing are kind of like come play with me, come dance with me, come ride with me, come etc. You know. So that's one of the things that, and we're trying to, I'm trying to do video shots, various locations around the grid. So if your location is fine, hit me up, let me know. I'll come over and take that as well. Come flirt with me. That's an awesome one, Isis. Exactly. Okay, I want to get back to the, yeah, keep it PG. Definitely keep it PG. I do want to touch base on the events a little bit. When you are on our website, and again, that's islandoasis.biz, and you have logged into your account, you can go to events and create an event. One thing that we have noticed is that if you spend a lot of time there, your session may log out. So you're listing all of your information that's important to your event, and then by the time you click to save it, you're not, Damien, I want a picture of you in a bikini. Anyway, once you save it, you need to see the red text at the top that says that your event was created. If not, it just means that you probably didn't post it wrong. Your session probably timed out. So just kind of a heads up when you're posting an event, make sure you have all of your information handy. You already know the name of your event, the time of your event, what you're going to say, things like that. Because if you take too long, it may accidentally time you out. So we want you to be able to effectively list your events for that. Now, when it comes to buying land on islandoasis.biz site, when you're in our land portal and you're actually purchasing land, we just want to give a big heads up to everyone. Make sure that you're on either Internet Explorer, Google, or Firefox when you're purchasing land. There can be some issues when you're trying to purchase land because the other browsers beyond those three may not interact so well when you're trying to purchase land. The second thing is we've made sure that at the bottom we have a little tick box that you check that says that you kind of understand the information that's there, and that's when your Start My Order button is going to come up and allow you to proceed with purchasing land on that. I did want to touch base a little bit with PayPal and monthly spending limits. Many people go through PayPal and they have accounts that say they have no limits. But when it comes to automated payments, a lot of times you have to manually set those. More than once I've had somebody say, well, I just used it for this, I just used it for that, but I know it was working, but now all of a sudden it's not working. So I've got a little bit of information here, and I'll just kind of post it. I do have it saved to note card for anybody who wants the information about how to change. How much time do you get to make an ad event? Damien, how is it 5 minutes that it times you out?
Actually, I'm in support chat with Brinkster right now, who hosts our website, to find that out and to get it increased.
Okay, so yeah, I've kind of been pushing to get that increased, by the way, so you'll probably be happy to hear me yapping about it. Sure. Back to the PayPal thing. When you have set up automatic payments or allow a regular exchange between you and someone, let's say you've purchased Polinos 2 or 3 times and now it's time to pay your all of that's going all through the same PayPal account. If you're running into an account that's saying the transaction's not going through, it doesn't mean this is the issue, but this is just one more thing for you to personally troubleshoot. You can go to your PayPal, and that's just kind of a list on exactly how to set it, you know. Most of them have a default of $250. I'm not saying that anyone's spending $250 here or more or not, but if for some reason that happens, and maybe you've already purchased Polinos and you purchased this or that all through Island Oasis and it's all going through the same one, and now you're trying to make another transaction, you may just simply need to increase the limit. And by following those steps, it'll actually allow you to increase it to anything you want in most cases. So I don't know if that's universal for everyone outside of the U.S., but I know inside the U.S. that happens. I'm trying to get the information on PayPal through other countries to see, but as far as I know, you can set those as well through any PayPal account globally. Thank you, Isis. Yeah. So those are just kind of some of the things that I wanted to touch on this month, just to let you know that we will be having the slideshow tutorials. We will be following it up with the video tutorials. Keep in mind for the timeouts for your session when posting events. When it comes to image hosting and URLs, I don't mean to be bouncing around, but I just remembered I forgot this. When you're posting an event, it'll give you the option to list an image. That's completely optional. You do not have to do that. You can also directly upload an image. So if you have image hosting, you can do that, or you can upload your own image, or you can do both. It doesn't matter. But of course, those are all optional features as far as posting events. I've had some people say, well, I don't have an image to put there. It's okay. You don't have to have one. You can simply list it. Those are just options. Did anybody have any questions on any of that? I know I kind of covered a lot really quickly.
Allie, I do have a question quick.
Yes, ma'am.
And maybe I just missed it. Are you hiring for the marketing department?
Yes, I am hiring for all of those different departments that we work with, whether it's social media, in-world, out-world, customer liaison. we're hiring, marketing department is hiring, mentoring department is hiring. You get perks. There's additional land that you get. In some cases, some are paid positions, some are not. I know with mentors, there's usually a mentor of the month where you have the opportunity to earn at least 1,000 Polinos a month for that slot. I know within the marketing department, I pay my staff per job or completion that you do. It's paid out once monthly. So there are some different perks to be had for being support staff. I know with the mentoring department and I know with my department, correct me if I'm wrong, Sugar, but I think both of us require just a minimum of 2 hours a week. I mean, you can always support staff work as much as you like, but we just require a minimum of 2. It's because, we do, if you are a member of the team, we want to see you actively working and at least, helping out because we do give out certain perks and benefits for both. Not a problem. We do have a new member, and he may have been in touch with some of you. He's still kind of learning the program. I previously had a staff member who was supposed to be working on the Pay It Forward program. That had gotten left behind. I didn't realize not as much was being done on that as was planned. And so I've recently hired Tom T-Bone, and he is now in the process of stepping it up and me remaking contact with everyone for the Pay It Forward. It's similar to what Isis already has, where she has the shared landmark program. But with the Pay It Forward program, not only do we share your landmark, we allow you to post at least one image per month of an ad or advert or your land or your logo, whatever you'd like. And the kiosks are passed out so that people can understand that, you're helping supporting the grid by paying it forward. You're offering a free gift in your store or maybe through your group, and something to help out with the support staff, because the people who are mentors here or marketing department here, those staff members, a lot of those people are putting a lot of hard work, time, and effort into the success of this grid, and it's nice to have them have some sort of a compensation back for that. So in exchange for that, we're also listing you. That way anyone new coming in as well, usually the number one question is, how do I fix up my avatar, or how do I get this, how do I get that? And we know they don't usually have starting off cash. Some merchants I've heard are afraid of giving away the free gifts. Well, if I give something away for free, no one will buy anything. A lot of people understand the phenomenon. You give away a free gift, and it lets them know of your store, gives them the opportunity to save your landmark. And later on, when they do have money, a lot of those people come back and they will shop. So we are trying to encourage that. There you go. Harley has landmark boards. So, not only the marketing department here, but a lot of individual residents here are doing a lot with networking and helping to support each other. So I really applaud all of you for everything you've been doing. It's just amazing. Okay, if anybody doesn't have any questions, I'll turn that back over to Sugar. Yeah, that's been asked before. I am a huge advocate of doing for charity work, but I am a huge advocate of only if a person who is actually a real-life person supporting or director of the actual charity comes forward, makes an avatar here in world, and the monetary amount goes directly to them. Unfortunately, because of my vast years in many and numerous virtual worlds, I have had the sad misfortune of seeing many people walk away with money that others have donated in good faith for charity. So as long as it's something that can be verified, tracked back, and Relay for Life itself acknowledges that we're doing, I have no problem with that, because we want to make sure that every step and every precaution is taken. If I'm giving something for a good cause, I want to make sure it's going to a good cause and not to line someone's pocket. So there's up and down sides to that, and as long as it's done well, I think it's fantastic. So.
Okay, does anybody have any more questions for Ellie about any topics that she brought up today? Doesn't she look pretty? Just saying. I'm with my bare feet, and she comes all in a ball gown. Okay, next up on the list is Miss SMA.
If I can walk. Did you freeze me? Okay. No.
It's called Arrow Keys. Just kidding.
Pick on the noob. I get ya. Okay, guys. Just kind of touch up of what Sugar said. My job is basically to kind of keep everyone in mind, you, the residents, and, just to make your time here more enjoyable, by creating events and providing you guys with entertainment. So, in order to do that, I'm currently hiring DJs and hosts for the Social Club, and later for Club Ecstasy, as well as the New Beach. And with those, as well as live performers. So, if you are interested, please come and contact me, send me a note card, a message. I will gladly speak with you, have a meeting, and get with you about that. The live performers would be at the Grand Stage, and I'll also be doing special events at Enchantment Oasis, which I just previously did with Mitch, which went fantastic. He was amazing. And anyone who participated or came, thank you. We all had a blast. I think there was also some pictures taken. As far as upcoming events, I actually have a summer hunt going on, which will be on the 10th, and as well as a gaming tournament, which I'm which I'm super, super excited about. So, hope to see you there on the 24th, and I'll also be doing, posting on the events page later about that, so definitely keep that in mind and look for those. And I'm also in search of people for my department. I definitely need help, as well as a club manager. So, if you're interested or anything like that, please contact me. Note cards are awesome. And that is all I have. Again, I'm the laid back one. I'm the fun one. I don't have a whole lot.
You're so damn cute.
Yep. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, suggestions. Okay.
While Isis is typing that out, just to let you know, all of us Palinos do have our mailboxes down at the welcome zone. That's the best way to contact us.
And Expo, please elaborate. Oh, actually, I believe, Allison, you were currently working on something like that for designers?
Yeah, we're currently putting together a Shop the Blocks program that will be kind of a grid-wide event for anybody who wants to participate, sort of things. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I know Esme's having building contests as well soon.
Yes, I will be doing those. I'm actually in the works of creating a really neat one for Halloween, so definitely keep your eyes peeled about that. I'm actually looking forward to that. I'll have a whole bunch of things in the works for Halloween. Is there any more questions or suggestions? I don't get any questions. Oh.
Aww.
I already been taken. Yes. If anyone hasn't realized, me and Allison, we kind of have a special relationship. I consider her my Nana, and she beats me, and yeah.
She's my brat.
She beats me.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions about any events that are coming or how to get a hold of SMA? If you have any suggestions on events that maybe you would like to see, definitely drop her a note card in her mailbox. Again, her mailbox is down at the Welcome Zone. All of ours is, so if you're looking, try to keep the note card specific to the person, kind of what they do. Because if you give me a note card that's about scripting, I'm going to glance through it, I'm going to see the word scripting, and I'm just going to hand it to sub. So it's best if you deal with it, put the note cards in the departments that they should be to. So does anybody have any other questions about the events or things? Yeah, I got your number, boy. Go ahead, try and fly. There are children here, or child avatars. Let me correct myself with that. Yeah, let me clarify that. This is an 18 or older grid. Every person on this grid is 18 or older. Ones that we feel need to be verified, I do age verification. Any minors that are on the grid are removed immediately. Their accounts are disabled and banned. But as for child avatars, we do have some child avatars. They're not big like in Second Life as of yet, but we do encourage all walks of life. So, keep your eyes open. A kid may run past you someday. Kids aren't coming. Well, underage people aren't coming here. We've always had child avatars. Yeah, prim babies. As of right now, I don't know of anybody doing prim babies yet.
Did have somebody, but then she left.
Okay. Some birthing, so we can have babies here. Okay. Lion says no. Yeah, she had to leave for real life reasons. So she is no longer here. But yeah, I encourage anybody who does prim babies, we do all walks of life here, including prim babies. No, that person's still here. I'm trying to think of, for the life of me, I cannot think.
We know you can't think.
No, I mean, I can think. I can't think of the guy's name. And it was in that one mall. I'll have to get in touch with that again. Yeah, I don't think the person who was doing the babies didn't actually have the full babies. It was kind of a builder's kit to make the babies. It was with all the different sculpts. Not yet. Jessica, for those of you who know her as Sheena, She is due on January 17th, and that will be my first grandbaby. So, yeah, we're all excited. First grandbaby. Okay, moving on. If there's no other questions, then I will move on to Mr. Sub-Zero.
What? Now?
Yes, dude.
Wow.
Now.
Wow. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning. Konnichiwa. Hello. How's everybody doing? All right. As you guys know, I'm the in-world scripter. Yes, it is always interesting to see me. I know, I do that myself. Sometimes I log in and go, what was I wearing? Wow. And then I'll have to change. So it's pretty cool.
As long as he's not naked, I'm good.
Yeah, I don't do naked very often. But sometimes I will be invisible and I'll just be wandering around. Yeah. As you guys know, I'm the in-world scripter, but as I kind of noticed that it seems like a lot of people are kind of unfamiliar with what I do. A lot of times, for the most part, when you guys are, say, coming from Second Life, Second Life has got an entire library. There's, I don't know, thousands and thousands of functions and library and stuff that Second Life uses on a daily basis for their scripting engine. Well, we have two. We don't have one. We have two. We use that and another one. So a lot of times I'm spending most of my time developing the code and working with it. Such in the case as you guys were just talking about prim babies, I would be looking at a different avenue because, number one, prims take up a lot of scripts usually, especially for systems like that. I've noticed this happen in SL a lot. A lot of times you'll go into SL and you're like, wow, this thing is really neat, and then you look at how many scripts it is, and there's like 50 scripts in it that make up that one item. And for prim babies, I would do NPC babies. That's one script. There you go. You're done. I mean, it just saves on the lag a little bit. Make it follow people, make it walk around, do whatever you want, make it talk, whatever. You can add sounds to it. You can still implement it as if it's a prim, but at the same time, you've got, instead of the prim being the representation of the baby or the child, I don't know. To me, it would make sense to do an NPC. Camera person over there is an example of what an NPC would look like, just standing there doing nothing, unless scripted otherwise. But camera person is not an actual NPC. That's actually somebody's account. But it's kind of the impression you guys would be able to. No, you can still do the birth part, though. You can still do the whole stomach, and you can code something like that, but once the kid comes out, you can actually have a kid. Same with breedables, it's like, boy, it's too bad we couldn't NPC design, all of those, because then you got one item that's moving around. It'd just be really neat. So in a lot of ways, basically, Second Life has got one full big library all on its own, and then Open Simulator has their own library all on their own. And every time, like Damien was talking earlier, every time there's a new, I remember some of your guys' questions. I don't remember all of them, so you're going to have to repeat them, actually. And then we'll touch up on scripts, and especially vehicles and stuff like that. So a lot of times that's what I'm working on. I'm working on what's working and what's not. Because even though they say, okay, well, here's this function, it's like, okay, well, by the time I get a chance to actually look at it and see what's going on, it's been 3 months since it's been out. It could be 4 or 5 months since it's been out, since I've actually had a chance to work with it. It's kind of like my combat, It's like, oh, man, I'm finally getting back to it, and now there's all these problems, and I got to figure out how to fix it, So, I don't know. You might. Yeah, you can actually animate the NPC just like you can your avatar. Your little CPR thing. Now imagine those are two NPCs. You can animate them just like you can yourself, and it's no different. You can actually create animations. There's a lot of things you can do with NPCs that, believe it or not, would save. To me, it would just save all that extra scripting and digging into it and possibly lag. But they do pose some high threat levels, so I have to work with those functions on which Well, anyways, yeah, I'll get to you guys questions. Yeah. Making an NPC. Right. Well, actually, making NPC, you create your own avatar, click the box or whatever. It creates the code into a note card, and then it's actually non-physical character. NPC stands for non-physical character, meaning no actual person. Game developers and so on, along with myself, I program NPCs, NPC character movement a lot. You know, the enemy, the bad guy.
Kitty, before you dabble in NPCs, I would ask that you get more familiar on what exactly they are, what they do, how they work, because of the scripting with the NPCs. If you don't do it right, it could cause... Well, I understand them as a bot.
Yeah, they are a bot.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is this is just new technology, and they weren't supposed to be released. Some people I know said, "Oh, you can cause them to res. We're going to release them so people know about them, so I have to talk about it." But I haven't got all the functions worked out. Number one, if you animate and move a NPC at the same time, your sim might crash. Well, at least a year ago they did. So it has to be you have to make sure so coding smarter comes into play here. You know, do I have a little bit of information where instead of playing an animation, we stop the animation, we walk the character to a certain location, and then stop the walk movement, and then turn the animation back on? You know, so it appears that the NPC is moving. That way it's not utilizing too many functions and stuff like that. I haven't had time to work on them. I've not had a chance to work on NPCs since it's been released on 07.2. That was when the functions were released. That was a year ago. I haven't got them all worked out. I got a lot of them worked out, but every time I got a lot of work. Anyways, so that's the kind of stuff I work on normally, among with you guys, helping you guys with your scripting needs, and of course doing any kind of scripting for the Paulinos. That's the kind of work I do. With that in mind, I definitely am looking for hiring anybody that wants to be assisting me in this kind of position. I do have somebody in training right now. He is not here today, so I'll just wait. And if Lion wants to also apply, he's more than welcome. Lion has a lot of experience himself as being a scripter and a programmer in real life, so I know he's doing a lot of scripting here and there and helping people out as well on his own time. But I will not be. I've after listening after the last couple weeks, I will not be able to build your guys' scripts from the ground up. Meaning, you come with me with an idea, we have nothing established. I'm noticing those are the things that I'm taking the most time on. I get away from them the most because I'm like, oh, here's these 5 other little quick things I can do, and I'm noticing that it's kind of, so for right now I'm going to be kind of not taking on projects where I'm building stuff from the ground up right now. Who?
Lion's talking about Kiko.
Kiko. Yes, Kiko's pretty good with scripting too. Her and I have chatted a few times about some of the stuff in here. She's really good with them. Or she understands the coding ideas anyways. Really, really well. She's very smart, very talented. So I won't be doing a whole lot of ground floor. You know, normally when we weren't so busy and we didn't have so many people, I would just have you guys come to me. I would just build it from the ground up. I'd just do your whole script for you, send it back to you. I'm just running out of time. I can't get it done in a fashion. To me, you waiting a couple weeks for your script, if it's something as simple as, I don't know why I keep using this, but I do, but a door script, you wait 2 weeks for your door script, that's a long time to be waiting, you know? And that's for me to put the sounds in and upload this and do animations and whatever. You know, I had this one person that wanted me to revamp the vehicle script and do a complete custom scripting for them with sounds and animations, and so I was working on that, and you know, I had never really got a chance to finish the rest of the other vehicle scripts that I wanted to do. I wanted to do a helicopter script that's available for all you guys. You know, with a helicopter, I was going to build a helicopter, and then you know, yeah, maybe a boat script and a plane script and stuff like that. But a little more modernized, because what happens is the ones that we do have from the free place, the stuff you guys get for free, I've noticed that when you guys res that bike out or that car out, and you're on an actual platform, it goes all the way down to the ground. Well, I had to fix that. Well, then I also noticed that when you stopped, the sounds would act kind of weird. So I had to fix that. So I just kind of been revamping some of the vehicle scripts. or in here we have a different physics engine. So, but for the most part, it does work very similar. You know, it's got to be physical for it to be able to move. And basically, you're sliding it across the ground and stuff like that. What, the scripts? Yeah. No, these are physical vehicles. My monster truck's purely physical, and I like that thing. So if you happen to see me at the, like just some silly... Yeah, I think that's still your viewer, because when I came over, Sweet Kitty, I watched you swinging on it, and I even cammed on you and everything, and I didn't see that glitch where you